jam-packed segment tonight. Folks in Southern California got all shook up yesterday when a 5.4 quake hit 29 miles southeast of downtown LA. Amazingly, nobody was hurt, but lots of people were shaken.
Okay, well, he got your bank card somehow, and he got your PIN number somehow.
He took out, I believe, $729.99.
Mirrors, stay calm.
Oh, mirrors.
Stay calm. It's okay, everyone get up to desk.
It's real time, and joining us now from Berkeley, Dr. Rich Baum teaches geophysics at the University of California. First of all, are you worried? You know, I mean, you worried for yourself, your family, your friends living out there in the quake zone?
Yeah, it's certainly something I'm very aware of. We know that there are earthquakes going to happen in the future, and we know that there can be big ones. So we have to be thinking about what we should be doing about it on a personal level.
Now, Judge Judy and the other judge went under the desk. Is that the right way to?
That's exactly the right thing to do. If you feel shaking, you want to get down underneath a desk. If there's no desk, you want to get down on the floor so that if things fall off the ceiling, then they won't bang you on the head and cause serious injury.
Okay. Now, I heard you're not supposed to stand in an archway. Is that true?
Yeah. So people used to talk about standing in archways when sort of door frames was part of the strongest part of the house, but that's no longer the case with modern construction practices. So you don't want to do that. You want to get under a good sturdy table.
Now, why can't science, with all the high-tech gizmos you guys have, predict when this stuff's going to happen?
Well, you know, that's the great challenge that we face, the seismology community faces. But I think we have to be frank about the fact that we don't think we're going to be able to predict earthquakes in the foreseeable future. And the reason for that is that earthquakes are a very complex process. They build up to earthquakes by building up stress over a very large area of fault in the subsurface. And it's very difficult for us to be able to see how that stress is building up. When you think about weather, we can predict the weather because we can look at the atmosphere and we can see how the atmosphere is moving.
Do you guys have gizmos?
We can't do that when it comes to.
Do you guys have gizmos in the San Andreas Fault, under the ground and all that, measuring stuff?
Do we have things measuring it?
Yeah, do you have gizmos down?
Yeah, we have seismometers. In fact, we run about 300 seismometers across California in real time. And so we use that to catch any kind of seismic energy that comes from the fault. But by the time we capture that energy, the earthquake is underway. We don't really have very good ways to be able to see the build-up towards earthquake. And we haven't seen any precursors which occur before all earthquakes.
It's kind of like tornadoes, that they just show up.
That's right, in much the same way.
It's because the energy is so fierce. So in California, I've heard there's a 99% possibility that a killer earthquake, not this, but you know, I don't know, wipes out like the '89. I was out there in San Francisco in the '89. You know, I saw that water go out of a pool in San Jose, California. That was amazing.
Right.
The water just went out of the pool, not like it would spill, but in totality.
Right.
It was like watching the Red Sea part when Moses was there. It was an amazing situation. But getting back to the question, 99% chance that a big killer quake's coming, right?
Yeah, no, that's right. And so when we say a big event, we're talking about something like the Loma Prieta earthquake in 1989 or the Northridge earthquake in 1994. So what that means is it's basically a certainty over the course of the next 30 years.
30.
So what we have to do is we have to think about that. We have to be preparing. We have to sort of continue to be vigilant and ask ourselves if we are doing everything that we can to mitigate that earthquake when it occurs.
Okay, so in 30 years, 99% big killer earthquake coming in.
Right.
And the folks who live in just regular houses that they buy, is there anything they can do or should do in that area to protect themselves?
Absolutely. So the first thing that people should do is they should attach their wood frame houses to the foundation. And they should put cripple wall in the foundation. They should also have their water heaters attached to the walls so they don't fall over and cause fires in earthquakes. So there's some fairly standard and fairly basic things you can do that will significantly improve the chances that your house will survive the earthquake.
Mm-hmm. And last question for you. A lot of people, as Dennis Miller said, look, California is a beautiful place to live. It's really a great place to live. You know, I guess it's just a roll into the dice here, right?
Yeah, I mean, you've got to think that anywhere in the US there are hazards, natural hazards that we face, whether it's hurricanes, whether it's tornadoes, whether it's floods in the Midwest. There are natural hazards everywhere. So everybody has to be vigilant against these kinds of disasters. And in the case of the West Coast, it's earthquakes.
And there you go, Doctor. Thanks very much for going on our program. We appreciate it. And plenty more ahead as the fact moves along this evening. The vile rapper Ludacris attacks Hillary Clinton.